Tonight, parking crackdown. As snow continues falling, parking remains a nightmare, and the city is cracking down on people parked on the wrong side.
And political fireworks as the House Judiciary Committee holds its final debate on articles of impeachment.
And do you need ideas for ways to help your kids learn math? Tablets may hold the key.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. As crews are finishing clearing the roads from last week's big blizzard, some cars parked on the street are making it pretty difficult.
That's why the city is cracking down on people who are parked on the wrong side. CBS 3's Emma Quinn joins us live to explain. Emma.
Yep, Kristen, Tony, so the reason city officials are cracking down on the people parking on the wrong side of the road, like you can see to my right, some people on the right side, some people parked on the wrong side, and that's to ensure everybody's safety. Mark Bauer of the police department says after the last two storms, they tried to be lenient and give people time to dig their cars out and move them, but now road crews are having difficulty clearing emergency routes, and people can't get places due to the roads not being fully plowed. He says this is an issue throughout the city, and when cars aren't on the correct side, plows can't clear the roads fully. He says they are trying to be as understanding as possible, but people need to park their cars on the correct side of the road.
If somebody is parked illegally on one side of the street and somebody parks legally on the other side of the street, you have a challenge getting a snowplow through there, getting the snow removal done adequately.
Bauer says if you come across an area where some cars are ticketed and others aren't, it simply means some cars weren't parked when police or parking service crews were in that area. And coming up tonight at 10, we'll share more about what residents in Duluth are saying about these parking about this parking. And just to remind everyone that it is a $24 ticket, and we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, some good tips tonight. Thanks, Emma.
And with that, we'll head over to Dave. Dave, snow's still falling as we just saw in Emma's live shot there.
Yeah, and because of that, we're looking at some advisories right now for some towns and future advisories for others. To the map we go, Anthony. That's your favorite part of the day here, so you can eye up what's happening. And yeah, winter weather advisory in effect now till tomorrow morning for towns at the head of the lakes. Lake enhancement will keep the snow going from today's low pressure system. Now, tomorrow's low pressure system is bringing a winter storm watch to the north shore from Two Harbors up towards Grand Portage, thanks to the elevation there and the winds in the lake. They could get more snow than most other zones. So let's take a look at what's happening right now with the Doppler map. And yeah, you can see those bands of the lake-enhanced snow spinning off of Lake Superior into the upper elevations of the hillsides and creating the snow that could persist for several more hours. Our day planner for tomorrow says then, because we're in between low-pressure systems, one going, one coming, 50% chance of snow in the morning, 70% chance at noon, 90% chance for more come tomorrow night, and it may spill into parts of Saturday as well. But by Sunday, I think we'll clear up at a price. It's going to get cold again. We'll talk about how low it'll go this time around coming up in a few more minutes.
Seems to be the cycle this time of year. Thanks, Dave. Well, ice and snow on Minnesota roads used to mean a pretty heavy dose of salt, but now experts are asking the state to go on a salt diet.
As Reg Chapman reports, what we do after a storm could have long-term effects on our rivers, lakes, and creeks.
The state of Minnesota has a salt habit, and the Pollution Control Agency wants to change that.
A teaspoon permanently pollutes 5 gallons of water. The salt does not go away. It accumulates in the lakes and in the groundwater.
A lot more than a teaspoon of salt is being used on sidewalks, highways, streets, and parking lots. That salt is causing problems for metro area lakes and rivers.
The teaspoon is because we need to stop over salting. We are currently on track to permanently pollute some of our lakes by 2040, 2030, 2040.
The saltiest creeks in the metro include Elm, Shingle, and Minnehaha. The worst salt pollution was in Spring Lake and Spring Lake Park.
The roadways are the problem in the Twin Cities, and also parking lots and sidewalks. In greater Minnesota, there is salt also used in roads for dust control, but it's in fertilizer and water softening. So we have issues there as well, but not as concentrated as in the metro.
The Pollution Control Agency proposed tough new rules when it comes to use of salt. It believes roll salt use could be minimized by plowing more often to prevent ice from forming. Freshwater Society's Carrie Jennings says there's a way we all can help Minnesota keep to its low salt diet.
I spent some time last night sweeping up the extra salt from the sidewalk. This is way too much.
Sweeping up excess salt laid on sidewalks and parking lots keeps the salt from going into storm drains and then into our lakes, creeks, and rivers.
I think we can slow it down. I really think we can.
The PCA is requiring some cities to teach businesses about salt use. It's leading training sessions for people across the state.
Investigators are currently looking into what caused a school bus to go up in flames this morning on the Iron Range. Officials say crews from multiple departments were called to the fire, which was on the southbound lane of Highway 53 near Virginia shortly after 10 o'clock this morning. The fire wire says the bus, which is operated by the Virginia School District, did not have any students on board at the time of the fire. Officials added the bus driver was uninjured during the incident.
The House Judiciary Committee is expected to vote on articles of impeachment soon, capping a second day of debate. In a final show of political fireworks on the House Judiciary Committee, Republicans proposed amendments to the articles of impeachment against President Trump. All are expected to fail, with Democrats outnumbering GOP members on the committee. Lawmakers are considering two charges: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. If they pass out of committee, the charges will face a full House vote, likely next week. Democratic leaders say they're confident they have the votes to pass articles of impeachment, but a handful of Democrats could defect. CBS News has learned the president is considering adding attorney Alan Dershowitz to his personal legal team if impeachment moves to a trial in the Republican-controlled Senate.
Closer to home, a sold-out concert at Amsoil Arena has been canceled tonight. The deck says the Five Finger Death Punch show is postponed. That's due to a medical emergency involving Jason Hook, the lead guitarist. The deck was planning to test a new clear bag policy for tonight's show. It's unclear if they'll try the policy for a different event.
Hartley Nature Center received a big donation today. The money will go toward expanding programming and meeting community needs. Lal Designs donated $20,000 as part of their 1% for the Planet program. The money is for the Nature Center's Step Outside campaign. It supports the construction of an addition, which will include new classrooms and a community gathering space. As of today, the Nature Center has raised $1.8 million towards the campaign.
Duluth firefighters are making kids' holidays just a little bit brighter this year. Firefighters went shopping today as part of the department's annual effort to provide toys for the Duluth Salvation Army Toy Drive. Firefighters raised more than $4,000 to buy toys this year at Target. This event has been a tradition since it started as a challenge against the Duluth Police Department 18 years ago. Firefighters say this annual drive is a highlight for the department to give back to families in need.
We all know as growing up what it meant to have that gift under the tree for Christmas. So it's really important to us that we can help anybody who doesn't have that money to because they're too busy paying for rent or food on the table.
We'll have a whole lot more on the shopping trip coming up tonight at 10.
A fundraiser in Solon Springs happening Friday night is helping those in need this holiday season. CBS3 meteorologist Austin Haskins and his dad, Jack, are hosting their 12th annual food drive. They're collecting food and non-perishable items, which will be donated to the Gordon Food Shelf. The Gordon Food Shelf helps families in communities across southern Douglas County. A corporate sponsor is also still needed to match any donations raised. The event takes place Friday at 4:30 at the corner of Highway 53 and Nyquist Road in Solon Springs. They love to tap it, swipe it, and watch it.
Yeah, but can kids as young as 4 and 5 use tablets not just to watch videos or read books, but also to learn math?
Well, one researcher says yes. Leanne Valdez has the details in today's Eye on Parenting.
Let's count how many blue things we see. 1, 2, 3.
4-year-old Ruben loves to count, especially when it comes to counting his food.
He tells me how many crackers he wants, how many cookies he wants, and then if he's eating the cookies and he has more than one, he'll be like, I had 2 cookies, and then he'll eat it, and then he'll say, now I have 1 cookie.
Vanderbilt developmental psychologist Erica Zippert says kids can use objects all around them to do math, including tablets.
Given the increased prevalence of tablets, it was really important for us to start to look at how parents and preschoolers might be exploring math on these digital devices. While you're playing the game, please make sure
In a University of Maryland study, Zippert observed 4- and 5-year-old kids as they played a math-related computer board game with their parents. Half the parents were told to use the opportunity to help their children learn about numbers, such as naming the numbers on the spinner and counting spaces moved. The other half were giving no guidance aside from instructions on how to play the game. She found
when we prompted parents to focus on teaching their child about numbers, we saw a significant increase in parents' number talk.
The findings suggest that tablets can be used to promote math talk between parents and kids if they are doing it together.
The things that were really helpful that parents were saying were things like, why don't you count for me?
Other things parents can do: name numbers on spaces or the spinner, count the numbers of spaces moved, and even add or compare numbers.
With a lot of math-related apps out there, Common Sense Media offers parents a guide to some of the best math-related apps for their kids, including Bedtime Math and PBS Kids Lab.
Come on Live Local CBS 3. 'Tis this season to make sure your vehicle is in tip-top shape. We'll have a few tips and tricks coming up.
Today's snow has made the roads slippery and likely that will stay that way probably through Saturday afternoon. Be cautious while traveling. Temperature-wise, though, we did get an improvement today, up to 19 above, this time only 4 degrees shy of normal. But another cold snap is coming after the snow, so by Sunday it will get chilly again, and we'll show you the 7-day forecast to prove the point in a few more minutes.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Fond du Duluth Casino.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Dr. Ryan Greschel describes how Essentia Health is treating acid reflux with an innovative device called the Lynx Reflux Management System, which strengthens the lower part of the esophagus.
The way we were intended to be is that at the end of our esophagus, before the stomach starts, there is increased tone in the muscle there. We call that the lower esophageal sphincter. So a normal person has some increased tone right there that can relax to allow food to go through it into your stomach, but when you're not swallowing, it's designed to stay tight so that acid from your stomach is not refluxing up into your esophagus. So the Lynx device works by adding this ring of magnetic beads around that portion of the esophagus to provide some additional tone.
Surgery to implement a Lynx device is minimally invasive and lasts between 30 and 60 minutes. Recovery is swift as patients typically go home the same day and can immediately return to their normal diets.
Who's going to pursue some surgery for their GERD or surgical correction for GERD is generally patients that have severe symptoms and they're not getting the relief from the acid suppressive medications that they would like. After placement of a Lynx device, about 85% of patients will completely get off their acid suppressive medications. And as far as symptom control, many patients with GERD have heartburn or regurgitation or, pulmonary symptoms, but 99% of patients with a Lynx have no more regurgitation. So if they had regurgitation before, it's gone. 88% of the patients with heartburn no longer have heartburn after a Lynx is placed. So the symptom resolution is excellent.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medical insight.
Dreaming of a life. I know we're gonna live.
At Papa Murphy's, put your sweatpants on, turn your oven on, and get your garlic on. Because right now you can get a large chicken garlic pizza for just $10. Your night is on. We make it, you bake it. Papa Murphy's.
America's Most Watched Network. Tonight starting at 7, only on CBS 3 Duluth. Then stay tuned for CBS 3 News at 10.
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. By the time you graduate from college, the outlook for careers in STEM is bright.
But more than that, a career in STEM is rewarding. You get to use your brain in so many different ways, learning skills to solve big problems.
And the world needs you.
Get a better education.
Have a better career. Enjoy a better future.
CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by Nicolay Law Office. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Let's start off this evening with a preliminary look at snow totals. And of course, I say preliminary because we still have snow chances coming around tonight and tomorrow and into Saturday morning as well. But at this stage of the game, Grandview, just south of Mason, seems to be the big winner. 6.3 inches. Duluth, 5.3. Kettle River, 4.8. We're looking at 4 inches in Superior Moose Lake, a little bit less than that in Two Harbors. Brule at 3 inches right now. And again, these numbers are going up because 3 low pressure systems are working through the region, and it may not be until Saturday afternoon when we finally shake off the snow. Well, let's shake things over towards the current conditions and set our stage here for what's going to be happening for the next 7 days. And right now, the current conditions tell us that Jack needs to punch the weather machine over so we can go over to the green screen there. Sometimes he listens, sometimes he doesn't. Thanks, Jack. 19, that's the current conditions at the airport. Temperature-wise right now, wind is northerly, northeasterly, 7 miles per hour. Air pressure at the surface is on the high side, but low enough aloft, of course, for persistent snows that will cause some advisories and some watches for people here tonight. Watching the temperatures right now tell us that 15 is what we have in Watersmeet, 12 Ironwood, 18 Superior, 14 Hayward, 16 degrees Moose Lake, and then the Iron Range numbers run from 10 in Ely towards 14 in Hibbing, down to 12 once you exit the Mesabi and Grand Rapids, and 5 above right now, International Falls. But overnight lows tonight likely won't be dipping below 0. If they do, not too badly. Finally, a little bit warmer for the short term. And I say short term because by Sunday into Monday, back to below 0, especially for the overnight lows. But now let's focus on the Doppler map. Right now, we see one low pressure system in the area bringing snows right now in Wisconsin and parts of the UP, and then the circulation around that low, keeping some lake enhancement going here at the head of the lakes. And that's why folks at the head of the lakes and up a good portion of the North Shore are facing right now a winter weather advisory through tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, well, folks in Lake County and Cook County will be looking at a winter storm watch as the second low pressure system comes into the region. And so that's going to keep the snow chances going, like I mentioned, because that one's backed up by a third one, and the snow could be lasting probably till early Saturday afternoon. By the time things are said and done then, snow totals for some towns may not be that much, a little bit higher for others. This chart, for example, thinks the range will be going about 1 to 4 for most places, and then getting higher up the North Shore, running about 3 to 6 there, and the snow belt could go 3 to 6 as well. And whether you get 1.8 like in Hibbing or 6.3 towards Ironwood, it gets slippery. Do drive cautiously. Tonight in Minnesota, the low temps, they'll go from 1 above up north to maybe 12 by the lake, with a 50-50 chance for more snow, just in case your town isn't seeing it right now. In Wisconsin and Michigan, it's the same deal. Some places keeping the snow going, others getting a break right now. 50-50 shot it'll return before midnight. Low temps, 5 to 10. For tomorrow, daytime highs, Wisconsin, Michigan, 20 to 24 above. Break out the swimsuits, but with a 90% chance for the snow that we were talking about. Continuing, Minnesotans have 90% odds more snow will come across as well, highs near 20. And now with the extended forecast here, do be careful on the roads with the snow all the way through Saturday night. And then by Sunday, high pressure takes over of the Arctic variety once again. So Sunday, clear to partly cloudy. Yes, 10 below, though, for the low. Daytime high only 5 above, and a similar range of temperatures with us then pretty much for the week ahead. But looking at this 7-day forecast here, once we get into Sunday, it should stay dry through Thursday. So finally, we can catch up on the shoveling.
Yeah, that's some good news because the roads were less than ideal.
Yeah, and have been since yesterday.
Yes.
So again, a lot of us are white-knuckling it, as you were saying earlier,
Yeah.
Kristen, coming down the hill especially.
Yeah.
We'll keep crossing the fingers for everyone as well.
I was tempted to stay on the range. Thanks, Dave.
Well, it happens every year. We get these first few snowfalls of the season. That leads to some pretty slick roads, and some drivers may have waited too long to prepare their cars for winter weather.
It's almost Friday, Tony.
Yeah.
That combination leads to a ton of crashes across the state. CBS3's Jenna Wells spoke with a local auto shop about the best ways to prepare for the weather and stay safe on the roads.
Kristen, Tony, local mechanics tell me that though there have been several crashes in the area over the last few weeks, the vast majority of their repairs have been on mechanical issues due to winter weather, like batteries, heating systems, coolant leaks, and of course, tires. The mechanics I spoke with this afternoon said there has been a boom in business since the last few snowstorms, but while the season seemed to start a bit early, they are typically busier around this time of year. Mike Archer, owner of Automatics in Duluth, says every car is different, and while you can get accessories to make driving in the snow easier, it's important to know your car and what it can handle.
The biggest advice I can give people, know your car's stopping capabilities. Go drive it somewhere away from people and go out on a country road and step on the brakes so you understand how long it takes you to physically stop. And it'll make you a better driver in town.
Archer says overall, one of the most important things that you can do to prepare your car for the winter is to invest in snow tires or all-weather tires. He says they can make an incredible difference that could save your life in the worst weather. And we'll hear how business is going at local tire shops coming up at 10.
All right, coming up in sports, we've got some big NFC games this weekend, particularly in the North. A preview of both the Vikings and Packers matchups. Kelly's in with sports next.
Get your new Polaris snowmobile at Duluth Lawn and Sport.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota, home of the largest selection of SUVs in the Northland. Visit KohlerToyota.com for 50th anniversary specials.
Give the gift of comfort this holiday season from Schneiderman's Furniture. Save up to $200 on any stressless purchase when you make a charitable donation of $50. Plus, 48 months special financing at Schneiderman's Furniture.
At Super One Foods, you'll find more than just low prices and better choices. You'll find friendly faces like ours, working hard to save you money.
Super One has a tireless commitment to quality and freshness and a goal of delivering 5-star service to every customer to bring the absolute best value to your shopping experience. Check out these specials available at all Super One locations going on now.
So stop into the Super One Foods right in your neighborhood. Super One Foods, serving you low prices and better choices.
You have a passion for the outdoors, and it runs year-round. Join fellow ice anglers and winter enthusiasts in Duluth when Eskimo presents the Arrowhead Ice Fishing and Winter Show. The season's top brands and newest technology are available with special show pricing. It'll be the biggest sale of the year. Fish at the frozen basin and win your share of prizes and certificates valued at over $10,000. For more details on all the activities and guest celebrities, visit mniceshow.com. Fun for the entire family starts this Friday at the Deck in Duluth.
Visit Bender's Shoes and step into style with new arrivals from Rieker and Ramonte. Enjoy modern European styling in footwear designed with features that ensure comfort with every step. Come in today and give them a try. We're located in Grand Rapids, Hibbing, and Duluth.
Make it the best holiday ever with the True Love Guarantee at Numi Jewelers. Dazzle her with a gift she's guaranteed to love. We're so sure she'll love the piece you choose that we'll even exchange it if she doesn't. True love is guaranteed at Numi Jewelers.
Looking for something unique for all of your holiday shopping needs? Come on over to Junk and Disorderly, located in the south side of Superior, Wisconsin. Experience the thrill of finding that special gift for your loved ones for an amazing price. Junk and Disorderly, located in Superior, south side.
At Chevy, we're all about bringing families together.
This time of year, that's really important.
That's why our Chevy employee discount is now available to everyone.
The Chevy price you pay is what we pay.
Not a cent more.
Family is important to us.
So happy holidays and welcome to the family.
The Chevy family.
Use your Chevy employee discount for everyone to get over $6,100 below MSRP on this Equinox. Visit TrueNorthChevyDealers.com.
Schneiderman's helps you celebrate life's outrageous moments. More room for the king of the castle. Try the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze. Get $300 bonus cash and a 365-night comfort trial only at Schneiderman Sleep.
Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Unbelievably so. Just 3 games remain in the NFL regular season, and there's still a lot to be decided, and that includes the champion of the NFC North. The Vikings are a game off of the Packers and will be heading to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. English. This one is about as must-win as a non-divisional game gets. Adam Thielen remains questionable, but did practice this week. He is listed as questionable, though. In Thielen's absence, Kirk Cousins has developed a solid connection with Stephon Diggs, averaging just under 18 yards per catch, 5th in all of the NFL.
I think the biggest thing is, we're hitting some explosive plays. We didn't get many last year, and so because of the run and the play action, and Kirk throws a really good deep ball, and he can catch. So, and he's got acceleration to get separation from the DB.
Kickoff is set for 3:05 on Sunday afternoon on CBS. Meanwhile, the Packers are still in the driver's seat at 10-3, currently the 2 seed in the NFC playoff picture. Green Bay takes on Chicago this coming weekend at home. It's the 200th meeting between the two teams and the first noon kickoff between the two since 2008. The Packers can actually clinch a playoff spot with a win, but they need a Rams loss as well. Head coach Matt LaFleur says that the Bears quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, has looked a lot different since their first meeting of the year.
He just looks decisive. If it's not there, he's using his legs a little bit more. So we're going to have to be extremely disciplined in our rush lanes and just make sure we keep eyes on him at all times, because he's a talented guy, and if it's not there on schedule, he can really hurt you with his legs.
It's a great rivalry for the game. Obviously the history of that. It's nice to be on the other side now. I know when Farby started back in early 90s, I think we were on the other side of this rivalry, and now it's nice to be up by 3, I believe.
Packers host the Chicago Bears this Sunday at 12 noon at Lambeau Field. We also have high school hockey on tap tonight over on the My9 Sports Network. Please note that the schedule has changed. It is now changed to Evelyn Gilbert at Virginia. Originally, it was supposed to be CEC and Duluth East. We will have highlights, however, from the CEC and Duluth East game tonight. Don't worry. That's going to be a big one for Thursday Night Faceoff. A lot of great matchups. Denfeld hosting Greenway there.
Big
Good
games
night.
tonight.
Big games.
Okay. Look forward to that. Thanks, Kelly. Well, New Year's Eve may be more than 2 weeks away, but preparations, not surprisingly so, already underway in New York. The numbers that will light up when the famous ball touches down to start 2020 arrived in Times Square today. Roughly 1 million people are expected to gather to watch it happen live. It's certainly the biggest New Year's Eve celebration in the U.S., but obviously not the only one. In Raleigh, North Carolina, they'll drop an acorn. A giant light-up moon pie will kick off 2020 in Mobile, Alabama, and they'll kick back with the conch shell down in Key West, Florida. That's where I want to kick off New Year's.
Yeah, I like
nice
all those
sandy
different
beach.
traditions. Yeah, I think we'll be kicking it off with some snow, at least tonight, right, Dave? More snow.
Yeah, more snow. That'll be dropping from the sky tonight. So we have to watch out for a winter weather advisory around the head of the lakes here. Lake enhancement is bringing a few more inches of snow, to the Twin Ports region. Then tomorrow night, with the next low pressure system coming around, winter storm watch already for Lake and Cook counties, roughly from 2 harbors up towards Grand Portage. Snow should end on Saturday, and then the cold comes back. So be ready on both counts.
All right. Take it slow tonight if you're on the roads. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.